Bucket Podcast with your hosts, Krystle Matar and Michael R Fletcher. Now sit back and prepare to be entertained. Welcome to the Dripping Bucket Podcast.
Hey, we're back. Welcome to the Dripping Bucket again for the second time this week, if I remember to post them both in the same week. So this time I'm here with just Fletcher, and I'm going to interrogate him about his Kickstarter because having watched him not fail, I'm having horrible, terrible ideas about maybe looking into doing one too, and I'm really upset about it. So I want you to tell me that it was really bad.
Terrible idea.
Terrible idea. But congrats on what, like 300% funding or something insane? 400%?
580% or something like that. Just shy of that. So yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, it funded. It funded well, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So my first and most burning question is: do you get a copy of that book?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yes, I do. I will get it.
Okay, good.
At the very least, I mean, I didn't actually buy a copy, so technically no.
But you probably get a proof or something? Or
yeah, so we're actually going to print more copies than officially sold, so that when we run the Kickstarter for book 2, people who missed the first Kickstarter can still get the first book, so they can
that makes
get
sense.
the complete collection and stuff. So there are going to be extra copies, and without really thinking about the sort of logistics, one of the things I said I was going to do is sign every copy.
How many copies sold?
And
how many signatures?
Book plates is something a little different. I said I would have to sign the copies. You have to be precise and honest about what you're going to do, right? So this means I have to go, once the books actually show up, I have to go to Merrick Books I think they're in Dallas, right? And sign 500 books.
500.
Sure it'll be fun. But it's an excuse to get drunk in Dallas, which is awesome. And then, of course, I'm just going to, I'm going to steal one of the copies and keep it for myself.
There you go. That's smart. That is smart. Because, I feel like if you go through all of that to make a book that gorgeous, you deserve at least.
You should at least get one. Yeah. And I want the slipcase as well because
Yeah.
Too cool.
Okay, so the important question aside, the rest of it is just so how was it? Is it as terrifying as it looks? I know you were really stressed ahead.
Yeah. So yes and no. Now I didn't do everything myself. I hired Merrick Books to help with the campaign stuff. They are also doing the fulfillment, mailing the books out, because they're in the US and about 80% of the people funding Kickstarter, or at least who funded mine, are American.
Are in the US.
That cuts way down on shipping costs. It means you can offer your product at a kind of a more reasonable total rate.
Right. So I thought Kickstarter added shipping on.
No. I mean, it's done through Kickstarter, but you have to enter the rates yourself, and because
I see, you have to.
Yeah, so
you have to figure out.
Books has done a ton of these, so he knows all the shipping rates, and he's got companies he deals with and stuff. So we were able to offer within the US a very reasonable shipping rate. So Merrick Books took a lot of the stress off me. Because I mean, I would, not sleep. I would be up in the middle of the night with a question, going fuck, how's that work? And so I just send him email after email, going, how's this work? What do I need to do here? And he'd just answer everything. He'd be like, okay, your next step is this. And when something needed to be done, he would message me and say, okay, this is what needs to happen next. Here's how you do it. So that took a ton of the stress off. I would have cracked without their help.
Yeah.
Frankly, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, because I imagine there's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't have been able to find the answer to on your own.
Yeah. Or
And
wouldn't have known to look, would have found out too late.
yeah.
I would have fucked shit up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, same.
scary part, and this is in part because of the way I did it. So before we launched, I looked at like really successful Kickstarters to get an idea for what worked. Like top of my
Yeah.
head, Gunmetal Gods.
Yeah, that
That
one was
was an
gorgeous.
insanely successful Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so what I saw,
Ben Galley does good
yeah,
ones too.
yeah,
They always fund. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So what I saw was the really successful ones are very visual. That means
Yeah.
you're starting from a like it's going to be a great looking book right from the beginning.
Hmm.
So there's no like question as to oh, is this going to be good or is it going to be just shitty? It's like
Yeah.
here's the cover art, here's the dust jacket design, here are some of the interior illustrations, which means you're fronting cash for art.
Yeah.
So I was $4 or $5 in the hole before we launched. So that was in part some of the stress was like, if this
Yeah.
doesn't fund, like, I mean, great, I've got
I've
some
got
amazing art, but like,
yeah. How do I move it? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, that was not an issue. It turns out. I kind of knew. Like, I would have been totally shocked if you hadn't have funded. Like, I figured you had a big enough readership that would be all over those gorgeous books. Like, they were the cut or the finishes that you were picking for them was like, oh, that bastard. How dare he have such an amazing book?
yeah, that came together well. And having good
Yeah.
artists and designers, Peng Lu did the dust jacket cover and
Oh yeah.
amazing. And
Yeah.
he was awesome to work with. I mean, he'd send a copy and I'd be like, yes, but more detail. Like that demon army there, I want to see individual demons. And he's like, okay.
Well.
Rachel St. Clair, she did the design
Oh
stuff.
yeah, that's Ben's.
Yeah, Ben's
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah.
She did all the design work for the hard case, which is
Ooh,
this
okay.
black faux leather, and all the design is done in black foil, so that
Oh man,
as you tilt the book and let the light
you
play
can
off, it
kind
will
of
look
see.
differently. Yeah, which I think
That's gonna be so
is
cool.
going to look fucking awesome and very cool, like
Yeah.
dark and demonic. So it's lots of dark demonic designs on it and stuff. And then we're doing the black sprayed edges. We've got a fold out map inside, full color illustrations. Like it's going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, that sounds like a really nice. So you definitely, I mean, I guess we'll see once the books are out, but you feel like it was worth it to go through because you didn't get any writing done while this was happening.
Yeah, no, I got no writing done.
Yeah. And you didn't, I don't think you got any done while you were planning it either because it's like you were just so stressed about making it happen.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so now I know it's, I mean, I have definitely broken even. I don't really know how much I'm going to actually make, like once all is told.
Because it depends on how many you got to
making
replace.
money. You know, it's like it has paid
Yeah.
for itself. So, I mean, with a project like this, you're doing it because, I mean, yes, it would be nice to make some money off it, but you're still you're a kid, right?
That.
You just
Yeah.
have a fucking book, and I want it, and so I'm gonna have a copy, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and I'm sure like I'll be interested to find out like if people posting pictures of it will kind of reboost your ebook sales on the back end of like people like I'm curious if it's going to spread your presence a bit of people like showing off their books and their friends going, oh, that's really cool, what's that? And then people finding you as a reader. I'm always very curious of that secondhand what am I trying to say, marketing, like sales, like I don't know, but like there's just like a little ripple effect, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And I know so there's Merrick Books runs a late backer store, which I think goes live tomorrow. So if people, tomorrow being
Thursday,
August 29th.
Okay.
So it'll be open by the time this goes live. So people, people who missed the Kickstarter can still hop in and grab stuff.
Oh,
or
that's cool.
upgrade their pledges and stuff. Yeah. So so far, yes, I would say it's worth it. Now there's more stress to come. I've got to get all the interior illustration,
because you gotta
layout finished, and so I have to make it look pretty inside.
Yeah. You're doing that?
I'm not super sure. So I've got Rachel is designing all the elements for me, because that I cannot do.
Yeah.
I can do the layout stuff. I'm just not sure if I should. Actually, I meant to ask you if you knew someone who did that really well.
That's a good question, and I will get back to you once I've had the chance to think about it. Otherwise, we'll be sitting here for 10 minutes.
End up offering something useful to the people watching this. All the useful information will happen off screen later.
Well, I can't. I'm trying to think of who I know has really pretty books. JD Evans, the insides of her books are gorgeous, so it might be worth asking her who does hers. Because
I'll take a look. Your hardcovers are awesome too. Are really nice.
My there isn't particularly anything inside. I just use vellum on my computer, so there's nothing.
Speaking of your hardcover, so when we met before you flew out, you gave me one, which was awesome.
I did.
Do you know what you didn't do?
What did I forget to sign it?
You didn't sign it.
Okay. I'll send you a book plate.
Next time we see each other, I'll bring it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. That tracks for me, to be honest. And it took me like a year to get it to you. And now you're gonna have to wait another year to sign it. I'll also have to figure out how to get you your book back, because unfortunately I was not intelligent enough to think about stopping in Brampton after we got off the plane. Oh, I just found a random graffiti. So I'll put that away. Yeah, we're super professional. Totally organized. Yeah. I don't have anything particularly fancy going on the inside of those books, but that may change. I've been thinking about.
Yep.
I don't know.
So I mean, I know how to do it myself. I'm just not an artist.
Right.
So I hesitate to do it. But I think with Rachel creating all the actual elements, I think I should be okay in theory.
Yeah, because
I'm gonna try.
What is it that you're adding? Like just headers and footers and stuff for chapters?
Yeah, so there's she did a sort of like chapter, designed to start, go to the beginning of every chapter and stuff.
Okay.
I hadn't got as far as thinking about headers and footers. Would be cool to have something pretty in there.
Oh, there you go. You're welcome.
Yeah. So yeah, I right now I don't know. I mean, I've done the layout for all of my self-published stuff myself, so
yeah,
I know how.
Yeah, it's just if you run into a problem, is it going to be easy to fix? But it shouldn't.
I'd really like to hire somebody who actually knows what the fuck they're doing.
I guess we'll have to ask around. I'm totally blanking on anybody. I wonder if Virginia does them. Maybe not. We'll have to ask her.
Cool.
But then so yeah, it feels like it was worth it, and you get a really nice book out of it, and you'll be doing the rest because that's a trilogy.
Yep. So what I'm doing is gonna do the complete trilogy. Basically what we do is when the first book goes out, when Blackstone Heart starts shipping, or slightly before then, we will set up the pre-launch stuff. And then basically when people are receiving their copy of the first book,
wow, this is gorgeous.
It'll go live.
And they get a notification of
we want them to see what they're getting so that they know it's not just like not asking people to buy in for book 2 before they've seen how good book 1 is, right? So that's the plan for those 3. And then don't tell anyone.
Okay.
I'm writing a 4th and final Obsidian Path book to be released like right at the end of the Kickstarter. that will
Oh,
get the same
cool.
treatment as well.
Oh, nice. So you'll do like basically a pre-order run through Kickstarter on it instead of.
Yeah, that'll launch first and then through Amazon, all that shit later.
Oh, I'm getting ideas. I shouldn't be getting ideas. I do not have the time for this.
That's close to that's a
it's a couple
year plan, right?
Yeah, because it'll be basically 1 a year because it takes a while to fulfill the books.
Yeah, it takes a while. And then when I saw how well that one went, I reached out to my editor at Harper Voyager. Asked about doing a Kickstarter for the Manifest Illusion books, Beyond Redemption, because those I think would actually do really well.
Yeah.
So he said he'd look into it for me. We'll see what happens.
That would be pretty cool.
If I can't do book one, there's no point.
There's no point doing the other ones. Yeah. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Because that was your big debut.
Mm-hmm.
It probably must feel weird having switched to self-publishing after that, because now with all the other books that you do, you get to make these decisions. But that first one, you're like a step removed from it, and it's just like it's your baby that's out there in the world, doing its own thing.
It took so much work to get audiobooks done for the first book, just because I didn't own the rights, so I had to sort of go through them and all that stuff. What a pain in the ass. But it happened, which is cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So then, would you do the standalones that you have, like Ghost of Tomorrow? Is that a standalone? I should check.
It's a standalone. I don't know.
I should read your books or something.
It never sold like Obsidian Path did.
Okay.
So I don't know there'd be the same demand for it.
I'm ready for the Norelska Grounds special edition.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I might do one for Norelska. But I mean, like these, it's going to be years from now.
Yeah, it takes.
You don't want to
do more than one of those a year.
Yeah.
Because you'll never have time to write anything. Like you'd just be doing Kickstarters. This is my life now. No new books, only more books. And I guess it doesn't sound like the worst thing, but
yeah, it's been oddly difficult getting my brain back into writing mode. Like I think today I got
surprise me.
I don't know, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 words done. And for me, that's a pretty shitty day. Like I'm between 2,000 and 3,000 usually most good days.
That doesn't surprise me though, because like it's such a different Kickstarter planning must be such a different part of your brain at all to even be using, because it's like it's not solitary, it's not like it's all just it's numbers and
like talking
communicating
about social media, and then people message you through the Kickstarter platform all the time. So you want to be sort of responding quickly and comfortable and stuff. So that was basically like a full-time job while it was live. We ran it for 21 days, I think. So that was
that sounds about right. 3 weeks,
21 days.
That's good to know, like, ahead of time, because I'd be the idiot who's like, oh yeah, I'll get my writing done in the morning and then I'll switch to Kickstarter and just be miserable for the entire process, because I'd be like, I'm not getting any writing done and I'm not getting the Kickstarter done.
Wake up, come down to the computer and start answering questions and replying to people, and then you do the obligatory, I have a fucking Kickstarter, go buy my book tweets. And, all that shit. That was weird. It was annoying tweeting the same fucking thing, every day for 21 days effectively. Like, I hate doing that.
That's how marketing works, buddy. Like,
I know.
You should do that for your books now.
Suck at it, though.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, that must be a little bit repetitive. And yet, that's literally what we should be doing for our books. This is why we don't sell any books, because it didn't even occur to us to tell people we have books.
I need to hire like a young person, with energy too, and who actually likes social media. to run my social media platform, or just, I don't know, tweet about shit, or just do something. Do something for me. I don't know.
So that we can write.
Someone who understands like TikTok and I don't know what the other ones are.
You know,
I can't
that's how you know you're really on top of it.
I'm too old.
Oh man, yeah, that would be nice, but then they would expect money, and we don't make money, so how are we supposed to pay them?
We'll call it an internship. Like maybe I get an internship, like a local college or something.
There you go.
Work in the publishing industry. Be a writer's slave.
Working marketing. Somebody who's trying to do advertising or something. It could be like their school project for a year. Yeah. See if it boosts your books.
Here's your internship. There you go. A, you're not getting paid, and B, there's no advertising budget.
Please buy our books, folks, so that we don't have to torture young people. Oh man! So what are you working on then? I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever.
Yeah, it's been weeks.
Yeah.
Working at so I've fuck me. So I've got a real world horror novel. Clayton and I are writing.
Yes.
It is. I think so. Later today, we're having a little Zoom chat to discuss the last act. So I'm hoping we're gonna have a first draft by the end of August. No, September. End of September.
The end of August is like tomorrow.
Yeah, end of September.
Something. Yeah. Okay. That's cool.
There's that one. That's a horror novel, takes place in Brookhaven, New York. The whole story takes place in the hospital.
Okay.
It's very cool.
I think you pitched this idea to me.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
and I was like, the real world, absolutely not.
Yeah, you were like, nope, too scary. Then I've got the murder mystery novel takes place in the world of the Obsidian Path. That's what I was working on this morning. I'm about 40,000 words into that, so sneaking up on halfway. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's pretty good. Back of my brain is thinking about the final Obsidian Path novel. So I think those are my current and next. Right.
And next.
So what are you working on?
Well, being away really jazzed me to get this the Prohibition novel done. Because it's so close. It's like 112,000 words, and I feel like if I can just get it past, or just get the first draft done and hand it off to somebody,
I will hoping like 120,000 ish words.
Probably more like 150, but that's still a lot shorter than I was thinking before I cut it in half. And then also I changed the structure of it. And as soon as I did that, all of a sudden I was starting to hit like the pacing beats that I had intended to hit when I started the idea, where it's like the first 15K is like pretty violent, but also it's me, so there's a sex scene, and it's just like, it's just pedal to the metal immediately, but also, world building a fantasy novel. And I was not doing that for the longest time, and that's part of what has been so frustrating about that book. But then when I switched when I added the second point of view, and I switched how he's telling his side of the story, all of a sudden the beats started clicking into place, like exactly where I wanted them to land, and it was like, nice. Okay, I must be doing the right thing now, finally, because a year later, it's the pacing that I wanted. So I feel like I'm just so close where I gotta edit like a bunch of his chapters because it's different now. But then once that's done, it's just writing the end where the big character gets the ever-loving shit beat out of him. So that'll be fun, right? So yeah, I'm hoping to finish that. I got the dragon art in today or yesterday, whatever, blends together. And the map for it is almost done too. So I feel like if I could just get a solid edit on it from outside eyes, it'll be really close to done soon. So
well,
I could
when you got your a readable draft,
publish.
throw it at
Yeah.
me and I'll butcher it.
Yeah, great. Thanks, buddy. I mean, you were so helpful the last time. That sounds like sarcasm, but I want to clarify for the reader that Fletcher actually was helpful, and that's why I agreed to ever speak to him again. Yeah, so I'm doing that. And then when I'm done that, I have like an idea for a shorter novel in the Dominion world, where it's like a Western, but it takes place in the Canadian logging camp. And I'd like to write it just to prove that I can write a short novel. But also I have that book 3 that I need to write, so I don't know what I'm going to do next. I just got to finish Frankie. Once I finish him, I'll have my brain back and I'll be able to focus on the Dominion again. I'm so close. You know that feeling where it's like, it's such a pile of shit right now, but I actually know how to fix it, so I think I can do it? That's where I am right now.
Yeah. But I think non-writers don't get is how frustrating writing is because of how long it takes. Like you've got the whole story in your head, but it's still going to take you months and months. Months
like
to get it down, and then more months to actually make it make sense.
To fix it, to make it good. Yeah, because like when I came up with this idea, I had like the beats in my head like immediately. It was going to be this, and then this, and then this happens, and then gang wars. Like it was so easy. Obviously, it was so easy, and then I started writing it, and it's like, why is this hard? Why is it so hard? I know exactly what's going to happen, but it's still fucking hard. Like what is going on? And that was me for like a year. Like when I went to Toronto last year, I was brainstorming this project, and I remember telling you about it. So that's how I know for sure it's been over a year. And yet I work on the fucking thing every day. But here I am now a year later, and I'm almost done a first draft. So I don't know why we do this to ourselves.
You're like, I just want to write a different book now.
Well, I just want it done. Like I think I forgot how hard it is to write a first draft because I was in revision for Brick and Bone for so long, and also for Brightwash for so long, just because like that first draft was so many years ago now. Like I wrote the first draft of that back in 2016 or 2017 or so. Like it was a long time ago. And then like I cut off a part and I was revising it, and that's how I ended up with the books that I have. But like I had forgotten how hard it is to write a first draft of a brand new world. And I convinced myself this would be easy.
I've done it before. It's easy now.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, no.
Alrighty, this looks like a good spot to wrap this one up.
See, I told you I could talk a lot.
Yeah, you pulled it off. Alrighty, so like and subscribe, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
All that shit.
Yeah, hopefully by the time this airs, I'll have decided whether or not I make a Twitter account for the Dripping Bucket. So you can go from here and search the Dripping Bucket on Twitter, and Godspeed to you. You may or may not find an account for the podcast, and you may also just find a lot of crazy people talking about pubs in their fantasy novels.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Okay. We're out.